Welcome to the Prestige Archives. Today, we're exploring the world of exclusivity, the hobbies that act as golden keys into high society. These pastimes aren't just about leisure. They're about prestige, connections, and stepping into a world reserved for the elite. Stay tuned until the end for the most extravagant hobby of them all. At number 10, we have tennis. On the surface, tennis seems like one of the most accessible sports in the world, played everywhere from public courts to country clubs. But in high society, the game takes on an entirely different meaning. The true heart of elite tennis lives behind the gates of exclusive clubs and in the VIP boxes of the world's most prestigious tournaments, like Wimbledon and Roland Garros. Here, it isn't the rallies on the court that matter most, but the conversations happening in the lounges, the champagne toasts in private boxes, and the introductions made in royal seating areas. Membership at these elite clubs is strictly by invitation, with waiting lists that stretch for years, if they even accept applications at all. The exclusivity lies not in the price tag, but in the access. Playing here signals that you belong to an inner circle, one where royals, politicians, and business magnates casually cross paths. In high society, tennis is less about perfecting your serve and more about perfecting your network. It's not the game itself that grants you prestige, but where, and most importantly, with whom you play. At number 9, we have golf. For most, golf is a leisurely weekend sport, but for the ultra-wealthy, it's one of the most powerful networking tools in existence. Elite courses like Augusta National, Pine Valley, and the Old Course at St. Andrews are legendary not only for their manicured fairways, but for the exclusivity of their memberships. Initiation fees often exceed $250,000, with annual dues in the tens of thousands. And even then, money alone won't secure your place. Membership requires sponsorship and the approval of current members, ensuring that only the most connected gain access. On these greens, billion-dollar deals are brokered quietly between swings. It's a world where CEOs, politicians, and celebrities are at their most approachable, away from boardrooms and flashing cameras. To be invited to a round is to be invited into a private conversation that few outsiders will ever hear. In high society, golf is not about chasing birdies or sinking putts. It's about the company you keep on the fairway. Success here isn't measured on a scorecard, but in the partnerships and opportunities forged hole by hole. At number 8, we have opera and classical music patronage. To the outside world, attending the opera or a symphony performance may seem like a refined evening out. But within high society, it is also a stage for prestige, tradition, and visibility. Venues like La Scala in Milan, the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and the Vienna State Opera are more than cultural landmarks. They are gathering places for the world's most influential families. To sit in a private box at these institutions signals old money, heritage, and deep cultural ties. But true high society involvement goes beyond simply attending. The wealthiest become patrons, donating tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. In return, they receive exclusive access to gala dinners, artist meet and greets, and their names immortalized on donor walls. These contributions preserve the institutions themselves, making patronage both a display of philanthropy and a declaration of influence. For the ultra-elite, supporting the opera or orchestra is not just about enjoying the music. It's about being seen as a guardian of culture, a benefactor of the arts, and a participant in traditions that have defined high society for centuries. At number 7, we have fine dining and gastronomy. To the ultra-wealthy, food is not just nourishment. It is art, theater, and a social passport. Dining at Michelin 3-star restaurants such as Alain Ducasse in Paris or Massimo Bottura's Osteria Francescana in Italy can cost thousands of dollars per guest. For high society, these experiences are less about the price of the meal and more about the prestige of the table. Being seen at the right restaurant, served by the right chef, signals cultural knowledge and refinement. Beyond restaurants, many elites take it further by securing private chefs' tables, where only a handful of guests are invited to taste exclusive menus curated for the evening. Others travel the world on gastronomic tours, flying to Tokyo for the freshest sushi, then to Copenhagen for new Nordic cuisine, all in the same week. For the ultra-rich, gastronomy is also about access. Exclusive dining clubs and secret supper societies bring together billionaires, politicians, and celebrities under one roof. Here, conversations are as rich as the menus themselves. In this world, a plate of food can be worth far more than its ingredients. It's a ticket into prestige and power. At number 6, we have wine tasting and collecting. While many enjoy a good glass of wine, in high society, wine is elevated into a world of heritage, investment, and prestige. The most elite collectors build private cellars filled with legendary vintages like Romanée Conti, Chateau Lafite Rothschild, or Petrus. These bottles are not casually uncorked. They are carefully traded at auction houses such as Christie's or Sotheby's, often fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars apiece. A single rare vintage can cost more than a sports car. But wine collecting is not just about possession. It is about participation. The ultra-wealthy are invited to exclusive wine tastings in Bordeaux, Napa Valley, and Tuscany, where invitations alone signify status. These are intimate gatherings where vintners, aristocrats, and magnates mingle over centuries-old bottles. For the elite, wine is also a financial asset. The rarest vintages appreciate in value over time, making them part indulgence, part investment. To share a bottle from one's cellar is not just an act of generosity. It is a statement of lineage, taste, and belonging to the highest circles of society. Breaking into the top 5, we have equestrian sports and polo, often called the sport of kings. For centuries, horsemanship has been tied to nobility, wealth, and status. From royal hunting parties to Olympic dressage, mastery over horses has always been a marker of elite society. Polo, in particular, remains one of the most exclusive sports in the world. Each polo pony can cost upwards of $50,000, and players rarely own just one. Maintaining a proper stable, with trainers, grooms, and veterinarians, easily runs into the hundreds of thousands each year. Travel for tournaments in Argentina, England, and the United States adds even more to the bill. But polo is not simply a sport. It is a social gathering of aristocracy. Matches draw royals like Prince William and global icons like Nacho Figueras, where champagne flows and introductions are made between families of wealth and influence. To be invited onto the field is to be recognized as part of that world. In high society, riding isn't about the thrill of the game. It's about heritage, tradition, and proving that you belong to a culture that stretches back centuries. At number 4, we step into the world of luxury travel and safaris, a pastime where exclusivity comes first, and destinations are chosen not just for beauty, but for privacy and prestige. While most people book tourist packages, high society demands experiences far beyond the ordinary. Think private jets to the Maldives, week-long stays on secluded private islands, or African safaris where Michelin-starred chefs serve 5-course meals under the stars. These aren't vacations, they're statements. A week on a private island alone can cost over $100,000, while a fully customized safari adventure can run into the millions once you add chartered flights, exclusive lodges, and personal staff. For the ultra-rich, it isn't about the destination. It's about traveling in a way that shields them from the crowds and places them among peers who live the same lifestyle. In high society, travel is less about where you go and more about how you arrive and who you're seen with once you're there. On the podium in third place, we enter the dazzling world of philanthropy and charity galas, where giving back and being seen go hand in hand. These aren't ordinary fundraisers. They are the crown jewels of the social calendar, attracting movie stars, Designers, royalty, and billionaires, all under the same roof. Events like the Met Gala in New York or the Amphayar Gala in Cannes are more than glamorous evenings. They are stages where influence is displayed and alliances are formed. A single seat at these tables can cost $25,000 or more, and major sponsorships often climb into the millions. But for the ultra-elite, the price of entry is a small investment compared to the access it buys. Behind the red carpets and flashing cameras, the real value lies in the private conversations, introductions to CEOs, politicians, and cultural icons that would be impossible in any other setting. The donations support worthy causes, but they also reinforce one's place in high society. In this world, generosity becomes currency, and each gala ticket purchased is also a ticket to the inner circle of global prestige. Our runner-up, in second place, is art collecting, a pursuit that blends culture, status, and staggering wealth. For centuries, the world's most powerful dynasties have built private collections, from the Medicis of Florence to today's billionaires. High society doesn't simply buy paintings to decorate walls, they acquire legacies. Masterpieces from Picasso, Monet, or Basquiat are considered cultural trophies, instantly elevating their owner into an elite circle of tastemakers and patrons. At auction houses like Christie's and Sotheby's, it is not unusual to see bids climb into the tens or even hundreds of millions. In 2022, a single Warhol portrait sold for nearly $200 million, proving that art is as much a financial asset as it is a cultural symbol. But collecting goes beyond the sale itself. Invitations to exclusive gallery openings, private museum tours, and fairs like Art Basel provide unparalleled networking opportunities. Here, billionaires, royals, and celebrities mingle in settings that are as much about conversation as they are about canvases. For the ultra-rich, art collecting is not only about ownership. It is about curating culture, preserving history, and demonstrating that their wealth reaches beyond material luxuries into the timeless world of creativity and influence. Before we reveal the #1 hobby of the ultra-rich, a few honorable mentions deserve recognition. First is skiing in Gstaad, a Swiss alpine resort town where royals and billionaires retreat each winter. Owning a chalet here can cost tens of millions, and membership at its private clubs is invitation only. Then there's fox hunting in the English countryside. Though less common today, it remains a mark of aristocratic tradition. Red jackets, grand estates, and rituals that trace back centuries. And finally, haute couture fashion collecting. Beyond wearing designer labels, elites commission one-of-a-kind gowns from houses like Dior and Chanel, often costing hundreds of thousands. These garments are prized as investments as much as fashion. Though not in the top 10, these pursuits remain enduring symbols of old money prestige. And lastly, at #1, taking the crown as the ultimate high society hobby is none other than sailing and yachting. If there is one pursuit that truly defines the ultra-rich, it is life at sea aboard a floating palace. Owning a yacht is not simply about leisure, it is about prestige and visibility. Super yachts, often stretching well over 300 feet, can cost $200 million or more to build. And ownership is only the beginning. Annual upkeep, including docking fees, insurance, and the salaries of dozens of crew members, can run into the tens of millions every single year. For billionaires, however, yachts are more than extravagant toys. They are mobile stages for exclusivity. Regattas in Monaco, St. Bart's, and the French Riviera draw together the world's most powerful families, celebrities, and royalty in private celebrations shielded from the public eye. Deals are struck on decks, alliances are forged over champagne, and reputations are cemented in the glow of Mediterranean sunsets. Chartering is also a sign of status. Even a week-long rental of a world-class yacht can cost upwards of $1 million, a price paid not just for luxury, but for access to a rarefied lifestyle. In high society, sailing and yachting represent the pinnacle of prestige. It is not simply about crossing oceans, it is about commanding them. And for those who live at this level, the yacht is more than a vessel. It is a kingdom afloat. So, which of these hobbies would you choose if given the chance? From tennis courts and polo fields to art auctions and super yachts, let us know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of wealth, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories of luxury, influence, and ambition. Until next time, stay prestigious.